Welcome to another video and welcome to the Civil Interest Sentinel. Sometimes real issues get lost in translation. Hence it's important to restate again the purpose of this channel. This channel seeks to highlight policy failures in the public service, their impact on public servants, efficiency, effectiveness, and corruption in the public service. The intention is not only to deal with the two departments that I have dealt with thus far. They just happen to be the departments that I happen to have issues I can deal with. And comments are welcome that can direct my focus onto other issues happening in other departments. I'm hoping that my little contribution would help highlight important issues and take attention towards those issues, and by doing so improve the service provided by the public service in general and the well-being of the public servants in particular. The date is 19th February 2025, and in this video I'll be dealing with the update on the fraud report that was made at Tableview Police Station in December 2023. If you have not watched the two videos that are flighted on that matter, feel free to visit the channel. Okay, let's get on with this video. On the 21st January 2025, I set up a meeting with the station commander of Tableview Police Station. That is in view with the manner in which the case was dealt with by the police in Tableview. The station commander advised that I should lay a service delivery complaint. I must admit, I did not know that there was such a thing in the South African Police Service. It was, though, kind of encouraging to realize that the police service has centralized complaints management function. And I also visited their website, wherein I pick up on its aim, which is to redress and investigate a dissatisfaction or disappointment experienced by a person or an organization, local, regional, continental, and international, in relation to actions or inactions regarding the service that was rendered or supposed to be rendered by the South African Police Services represented by its employees. That is really clear intention, and it's clearly that it was well thought. So I was taken to Captain Naidu to take or to record my complaint. I must say she acted very efficient and professional in the process, and I was actually very satisfied, even though the process took almost 2 hours, which I was left feeling I wish that the outcome would match the input or the effort in recording the complaint. Moving forward, on the 18th February 2025, I received a call once again from the investigating officer, Constable Gomba, and she was requesting that I avail myself for her to be able to retake a statement and get a bank statement. I agreed to meet her at 11:30 the same day. And thereafter, I received another call from one captain from Cape Town Central Police Station, and he advised me that he was the investigator of the complaint, that is service delivery complaint that was lodged at Tableview Police Station. I also agreed to meet him the same day at about 1 o'clock. So thereafter, I went on to attend the meeting with the investigating officer, and the first thing was really to try and establish what is the mischief with the original statement that was taken. And I requested that she provide me with the statement that was taken. After reading the statement, I realized that all the elements of fraud were included in the statement, and hence I could not understand what was the need for retaking the statement. But interestingly, I also found that the docket has already been to the prosecutor, and it was returned with some instructions. Now, ordinarily, there are two reasons that you take a docket to the prosecutor. One, that you have completed the investigation. Then you want the prosecutor to give a go-ahead to arrest the suspect and bring the case to court. In which case, if the prosecutor is not satisfied with the investigation as it is, would then give guidance in terms of the whatever it is that might needed to be done to give him or her confidence to move on with the prosecution. The second instance is when the investigator feel like in a case he has reached the dead end, and he require or she require the blessing of the prosecutor to close the case. Now, obviously, in this one, if it was already the prosecutor, while there is absolutely nothing that has been done to date, there is only the statement that was taken from me. There is nothing else except a couple of entries that were made in the investigation diary. So if you took a case to the prosecutor that has not been investigated, obviously you are requesting the prosecutor to close the case, in which case I thought that this was the situation in this case as well. Because as I understand, the reason for retaking a statement as it was communicated to me was the fact that it was unclear whether the case was that of fraud or theft out of motor vehicle. And I requested to speak to the branch commander. I just wanted to establish what was his or her attitude in the circumstances, because I was convinced that that was not the case of a theft out of motor vehicle, and there was no mention anywhere in my statement that there was anything that was taken out of a motor vehicle. But in any event, even if there was something that was maybe my wallet would have been taken out of a motor vehicle, in which case two charges would have been registered. The one of actually stealing the wallet out of the car, and the one of conducting the transaction which resulted into unlawful payment being made out of my account without my consent. But I was advised that the branch commander was not known where he or she is. So I was taken to Captain Smith, who's also a detective. And he also appeared to go along with the view that there need to be retaking of a statement in order to finalize the investigation. So I agree that they can draft the statement whichever way they deem appropriate. And then they can let me know so that I can come and sign the statement. But at the same time, I made it clear to them that I was still unhappy with the fact that they have not investigated the matter. And the fact that as well, I don't think that they want this statement in order to be able to conduct any investigation, because I don't think the clarity as to whether it's a theft out of motor vehicle or, as they claim, would then make the investigation easier. So I then left them, and obviously Constable Gomba was not pleased with the fact that I was leaving. Her preference was that I should be sitting with her while she's taking the statement, because she would be unable to write the statement in my absence. But I had another appointment that I had to go to. But on the other hand, whatever is it that they wanted to be in the statement was not really something that I know or something that I experience. It's something that they want to include in my statement. So I could not see why it would have any difficulty for them to writing whatever is it that they think need to be written in order for the statement to qualify as fraud. So I then left, rushing for the meeting with the captain who is investigating the service delivery complaint. And the meeting with him was at my home, and he arrived exactly at 1 o'clock, accompanied by Colonel Thomas. She was at least introduced as such. And basically, they sort of advised that the investigating officer has been trying to get hold of me in order to retake the statement, in order to finalize the investigation. So I advised them that I have already had a meeting earlier with the investigating officer, and I also informed them that I had a strong feeling that this retaking of the statement is just in compliance with the instruction of the public prosecutor, who I suspected required that as a minimum indication that something was done. But I mean, retaking my statement and getting a bank statement, that is not investigation in the true sense of the word. But that said, the next thing that they requested was to retake my statement again. And I asked them whether, the statement that was taken by Captain Naidu, that took almost 2 hours, whether it was not sufficient or whether there is anything in that statement that need correction. They said no, there isn't any, but they just received instructions themselves that they needed to take another statement. And I told them that no, I unfortunately don't have time for that. But if there is any specific thing that need to be added or to be subtracted, then I am happy to have another statement taken. Now, taking many different statements under oath does have its own risk. So partly I was really happy to have two affidavit that might have maybe subtle differences that I might not, But at the same time as well, as I said, taking a statement takes time. It cannot just be taken twice because someone requested as such, and there are no clear reasons why such ought to be done. I must say that this kind of poor or lack of investigation is not unique to Tableview. It is something that generally happens in most, if not all, police stations around the country. There is a reluctance to investigate cases, especially commercial crimes. And it would appear that this is motivated by the fact that the losses incurred by complainant could be recoup from the insurance companies. And in most cases, you would just be asked when you starting your report, whether you are reporting for insurance purpose or things like that, which then, in the mind of the police, authorize them not to investigate the case. What really is disappointing about this is the fact that it would appear that they don't understand that the fact that cases or the loss are paid by insurance is not necessarily the end of the story, but those claims, they are really paid by the consumers, which then affect inflation, which then affect the economic growth, and then affect unemployment, which then impact on crime. I can give my really own experiences of the poor handling of investigation by the police. One, in 2017, April, my brother was gunned down in Kailicha in the middle of the night while he was sleeping. And there were various leads as to the possible suspects, but that case did not move anywhere, and I doubt that there was any investigation conducted. Secondly, there was a case that was opened at Table Bay Police Station in respect to possession of fish without a permit. I've dealt a little bit with that case in the Crosspath video. That case was withdrawn just a week or so after it was opened. And to date, there is no explanation why. Because at least in that case, there were clear culprits. And three, I opened a case of fraud, again at Table Bay Police Station in 2021. Again, the case was withdrawn within a week. And in 2023, I opened a case of theft out of motor vehicle at Pal Police Station. My car was broken into and some items were stolen while hiking at Huguenot Mountains. And the case again was withdrawn, and I've never had anything from the detective. I took time to go again to the place where my car was broken, and I could see that there was quite a number of other cars that were broken at the same place, as there was a lot of windows that were in the bushes just adjacent to the place where people park cars when they go to hike in that particular spot. And strange enough that about last year in November, I received a message from Apple that my iPhone was activated for the first time since it got lost, and they give me the details of where it was activated. I had that information transmitted to the police in Pal, and that information was never followed. So those are just telltale indications that police, they generally don't bother themselves with some cases. So that brings us to the end of this video.